Mac, we're breaking up.
Huh? What the hell? Where did that come from all of a sudden? Lexi? What's going on?
I just told you, didn't I? We're breaking up. The engagement is off.
Seriously, what the hell? You got me so off guard here, I don't even know what to say.
It might seem sudden to you, but I promise you, I've been thinking about doing this for a long, long time.
But we only have 2 more months until the wedding, Lexi.
Exactly. It's precisely because we're so close now that I had to stop and do some serious soul searching. When I thought about what kind of family we'd end up being, what our home life would be like, what kind of married couple we'd be, I've been doing all sorts of thinking about what our married life would look like, you know? And I'm sorry, Mac, but it's just not the life I imagined for myself.
Huh? Huh? How do you mean?
How should I put this? It's like, no matter how hard I try, I find it impossible to imagine us having a future together. Or rather, when I picture what my idea of happily married life looks like, you're not a part of it. I guess you could say I was finally honest enough with myself to accept that.
What are you saying?
It's important to have a vision for the future, you know? Especially when you find yourself stood on the precipice of one of life's major turning points. But when you're about to embark on a new start and you're already having major doubts, you have to stop and have a difficult conversation with yourself about whether it's truly what's right for you. Look on the bright side. At least we didn't actually end up getting married, so we both get to come out of the other side without becoming divorcees. So please, just agree to breaking off the engagement so we can both move on.
I'm gonna need some time for this, Lexi. This has all been so sudden, and I need some time to process everything you just told me before I can give you a proper answer.
Come on, Mac, is it really that difficult?
Nothing you say will change my mind. I need time to process this.
Fine, I'll give you 3 days.
Just 3 days?
Actually, I think I'm being pretty generous, because nothing you say will change my mind. Which means 3 days is a waste of time as far as I'm concerned. That said, I get that you're shocked, so I'm willing to compromise. I understand how you feel, so are you going to meet me halfway and consider my feelings too?
Fine, I'll message you in 3 days then.
Just remember that no matter how long you wait, nothing's going to change my mind.
Mac, I just saw the message you sent me last night. I'm so sorry I couldn't reply straight away, bro. I was on night shift and we're not allowed to take our phones outside the locker rooms while on the premises. Hey, Tony. Sorry for sending you such a weird message out of nowhere. Lexi dropped a bombshell on me and she said that she wants to break off the engagement and I didn't know who else to talk to about it. Don't sweat it. I'm your friend. And I wouldn't want you to go through this alone, so I'm glad you reached out to me. I'm sorry if I worried you. Thanks, buddy. I see. So is that why? Is that why? Listen, Mac, there's something about Lexi you should know. Huh? I'm sorry to tell you this when you've already got a broken heart, because it's probably going to sting a little. But you might want to deal with it immediately, so I don't really have a choice. Whoa, what is this? Whoa, what is it? You're scaring me now. This all happened about 2 months ago. I saw Lexi while I was on my way to work a few times, but every time I did, she was with some other dude. Huh? Wait, what? I saw them together in the same place every time. Every time I saw them, they were walking down the long street you come onto. Every time I saw them, they were walking down the long street you come onto after turning right out of McPherson Station. I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell you where that street goes, right? That's where all the hotels are. Bingo. The first time I didn't think anything of it. I figured she was probably just with some guy friend, and they just happened to be walking that way while on their way somewhere else. But from the second time onwards, I had a bad feeling not only due to her being with the same guy again, but also they were way too intimate with each other just to be friends. I see. I'm sorry I waited so long to tell you, buddy. I just didn't know the right way to go about it. When I saw them again yesterday, I got super annoyed with myself for keeping it quiet all this time and swore to tell you. I was actually going to do it today. I can tell it's been eating away at you, Tony, and I'm sorry to hear that. Don't feel bad, okay? I understand why you didn't tell me. Thank you. What are you going to do next? Well, first of all, it's safe to say the engagement's officially off, and I'm going to need proof of the affair. But there's no doubt about it. Me and Lexi have been drifting apart for a long time. I always did my best to talk to her as much as I could, to make time for date nights and things, and I tried to make her happy, I really did, but for some reason, nothing seemed to work. She always just seemed so distant. In a way, I'm actually pleased, because now I know why. Now, I can happily break off the engagement. Mac, I get you want to put on a brave face, but it's normal for this to suck, you know? It's fine, really. Anyway, once the engagement's been canceled, I'll have to deal with the small matter of how to make sure Lexi takes full responsibility for what she did. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help, pal. I'm always here. I might just do that. Thanks, Broseph. Lexi, I've decided to break off the engagement.
Wow, really? Gee, thanks, babe. To be honest, I was kind of worried you'd dig your heels in and refuse. I'm really pleased you've decided to be a mature, responsible adult about it. Oh yeah, one more thing. As for letting everyone know we're breaking off the engagement, I think it's best we both tell our parents, friends, and all the people we invited to the wedding individually. There's no need to go making a big drama out of the whole thing, right? You've agreed to go along with the engagement, so let's deal with the rest quietly before going our separate ways for good.
You're right. That works fine for me for the time being.
Thanks for being so mature about us breaking up. To tell you the truth, I already found my new boyfriend. It's not easy being this much of a hit with the guys, you know. Anyway, I think we're just about done here. I'm so pleased that we were able to part ways on such good terms. Now it's time for a clean break. Woohoo! Bye-bye.
Mac, something crazy happened. You gotta hear this. What is it? It turns out the guy Lexi was cheating on you with is one of my coworkers. Wow, are you serious? Yeah, and get this. He has a reputation for being the most useless, deadweight blockhead at the company. He's such a pain in the ass that he routinely gets passed from department to department because no one wants anything to do with him. He just got assigned to my department today, so I finally saw his face for the first time. But I've been hearing rumors about him here for years. He's somewhat of a legendary figure at my company for being so damn useless. I thought he looked familiar when I saw him at morning call. Then I remembered he was the dude I kept seeing Lexi walking towards the hotel district. Wow, what are the odds? Now that I think about it, the street next to McPherson Station where I kept seeing him isn't that far away from my workplace. Obviously, I can't be sure, but I can say there's a pretty strong chance he's been meeting up with Lexi there after work for months. I see. Yeah. And that's not all. I don't know whether it's because he's trying to assert himself as the hotshot new guy in my department or whether this is just what he's always like, but he literally didn't stop bragging about himself all day. He even mentioned you and Lexi. What? Well, let me be clear. He didn't specifically say your names, but he was bragging about how he stole some loser's fiancé and making himself out to be this huge stud in front of all of the female employees. Then he went around the whole office showing everyone a photo of him with Lexi before jumping on my desk and playing air guitar while spinning his head around like some wannabe rock star and yelling, "Don't challenge the stallion," at the top of his voice. Wow, are you for real? Sadly, yes. It turns out instead of totally being dead weight at the office, he's also a total jerk who thinks stealing another dude's girl is something to brag about. Does this guy have mental problems? That was my first thought, but then I realized that would be an insult to people with mental problems. The guy's something else. I'm pretty sure it became universally hated in my department within 5 minutes of meeting everyone. What's his name? Bartholomew Abe. What? What is it? No way. Unless I'm thinking of someone else with the same name. Which, let's face it, is pretty unlikely. That's the jerk who used to bully everyone at my high school. No way. Seriously? Hang on a sec. Could it be? I think this could be his way of getting revenge on me for what happened back then. Revenge? To cut a long story short, he had a crush on my cousin. He wouldn't stop following her around school, writing her love letters and asking her out on dates. But she wasn't interested, so I kind of ended up becoming her bodyguard. I often used to hear about how much he hated me for it, but since I was bigger than him and trained Wing Chun, he never had any balls to say anything to my face. Wow, I see. Anyway, if it really is him, I have a little trick up my sleeve. What are you gonna do? Me and him both grew up in the same town and we know a lot of the same people, which means gathering information on him is gonna be a piece of cake. Ah, I see. Alright, that sounds promising. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll pretend I don't know you and feign ignorance if he starts boasting about stealing Lexi again. Yeah, could you? That'd be great. Sorry you got dragged into this crap, bud. If you find out anything else, it'd be great if you could let me know as soon as possible. You have nothing to be sorry for, Mac. And sure, of course.
Mac, what the hell is this letter that just showed up at my mom and dad's place? You better start explaining right now. Why in God's name would I pay you compensation? Not only that, but why in the crap would I cover all the wedding expenses?
Which part don't you understand? Isn't it obvious? You're the one who called off the engagements, so why would you get out of footing the bill?
What are you talking about? Why should I pay you compensation when we didn't even get married? Are you stupid?
I should be asking you that. This was hardly a regular breakup, was it? We had the wedding venue booked, invites sent, a band hired, a cake ordered, your dress, my tux. We had everything in order, Lexi. The wedding company explained in advance there'd be a cancellation fee of the quoted amount plus 30% in the event of a cancellation within 3 months of the wedding day. Not only did the representative explain in person when we went in, but we both signed a contract and received email copies of the terms and conditions.
Huh?
I went through all of the cancellation procedures myself. And not only that, but I had to borrow the money from elsewhere because I didn't have enough left after spending so much on the wedding. Obviously, I was going to bill you for everything when you're the one who called off the engagement. Am I doing something wrong here? Please feel free to go through my messages again and pick fault if I'm mistaken somehow, because I assure you I'm not.
Fine. Well, what about the compensation?
You can still claim compensation without getting married, you dummy.
Wait, what? No way. You're lying.
Not only that, but you cheated on me.
What? No, I did not.
Sorry, Lexi, but you're not going to be able to lie your way out of this one. I put the proof of the affair, including pictures of you being intimate with your lover in public, in a separate brown envelope inside the compensation bill letter.
No way. That's what's in the envelope?
Get back in touch with me once you've taken a look inside if you dare.
Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. How did you find out?
Shall I be completely honest with you?
Tell me.
Sorry, I almost fell over laughing when I realized how easy you made it to collect proof you were cheating on me.
What?
You do know that your lover, Bartholomew Abe, was in my class in high school, right?
Sure I did, but so what? What's your point?
So you should have known he was the most hated guy in my entire neighborhood too, right?
Huh?
Not only that, but he was also hated by the very kinds of people you do not want to make enemies of. Which is why when I headed back into town and enlisted the help of some of my old friends in the form of calling in some favors with their connections, I had enough evidence to prove the affair 10 times over within just a few days.
It was really that easy?
Come on, Lexi, face reality. Even without the help of my friends, it was never going to be difficult to prove he was going around bragging to everyone who'd listen about how he'd stolen Mac's fiancé and was now officially the superior male. He even posted photos and videos of you both together in the office group chat,
God damn it, that moron. Are you being serious right now?
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Bartholomew wouldn't happen to have stopped messaging you these last few days, would he?
Well, yes. I thought it was just because he's busy since getting moved to a new department at work.
I have some friends who work at one of the office buildings outside the hotel district near McPherson Station. They gave me several witness accounts reporting seeing him going into one of the hotels with a young blonde a total of 5 times over the last 2 days.
Wait, what? Bartholomew with another woman? But why? Why would he do this to me? I thought we had something special. You've got to be kidding me. I broke off my engagement for that asshole.
There's one more thing you should know. Apparently, Bartholomew's uncle found out about his nephew's misdeeds for the first time yesterday, as well as kindly agreeing to shoulder the burden for the compensation his nephew's gonna owe me. He also drove him out to a remote mountain temple run by a small group of Shaolin monks who operate a rehabilitation facility for violent criminals, ex-drug addicts, and other various breeds of social misfit. Something tells me you won't be hearing from him again.
What?
Anyway, I think we're pretty much done here. Make sure I get my compensation and repayment on the wedding expenses sooner rather than later, okay? My lawyer's on standby, should I need him.
Oh my god, is this real life? How can you just keep springing extra crap on me? I don't even understand what's happening anymore.
A few days after our last messages, Lexi's parents showed up at my place and apologized profusely for their wayward daughter's sickening behavior and cheating on me and breaking off the engagement. They told me they took all the savings from her bank account and sold all of their possessions in an effort to come up with some money. With that, they lowered their heads in shame and handed me an envelope containing the exact amount I requested in the invoice I sent before going home. Sadly, I can't say Lexi responded in as dignified and responsible a fashion as her parents. Apparently, she still carried on claiming to be the victim in the whole thing and showed no signs of repenting for her behavior. At their wits' end, and having heard about Bartholomew's uncle sent him to the mountain temple for rehabilitation, Lexi's parents decided to enter her into a monastery for 2 years in the hope that the nuns there would teach her how to be a decent human being. As for Bartholomew, of course his departure for the mountain temple meant he left my company. I got the funniest text from my boss a few days later. Apparently, as soon as it was announced that Bartholomew was leaving, the entire office erupted into thunderous cheering and applause. To be honest, even having him around for the short space of time we did was a huge pain in the ass for all of us. Which is why me and 2 of my coworker buddies have decided to go on a guy's vacation to Mexico to decompress.